is that writing, and I use this as a general term, writing is easy. We write every day. I'm not talking about novels. We write emails, we write Facebook posts, we write every day. But what we're doing when we're writing creatively is something a little different. We're bringing it to another level. And to write well, to write with enchantment, to enthrall and to captivate, to write these memorable stories, that takes a lot of work. It's an emotional investment. You're not just doing something, it's not, you're just putting, part A and part B together. You're putting a part of yourself into those stories. So to have a community that understands what that emotional investment means to you, I think is invaluable, because it nourishes your soul. Your creativity nourishes your soul, and the community is there to hold you up as you're struggling to be a writer. So in order to write these memorable stories, to live your dreams, to share those dreams, we have to come together as a community. We have to support each other. So, writing. One of the other struggles with writing is that unlike visual artists, when a visual artist puts their work out, you have a painter or a sculptor, the person comes up, they look at it, they're like, oh, that's wonderful. It's great. What is the struggle with a writer's audience? Is that a writer's audience, a reader, has to make an investment in your story. It's time, it's effort. It's not just, oh, look, that's great, it's wonderful, fireworks, big, bang, boom, wah. It's an investment. So you are asking people to make an investment of their time when there's so much else people could be doing, right? So you're putting in the time and effort. You're asking your readers to put the time and effort in. And since reading is such a time-consuming act, people want to use their time wisely. So in order to draw people in, to make them want them to read your works, and to keep reading your work, you have to be the best writer you can be. And having a writing community is going to help you, like I said, not only shore you up emotionally and mentally, but it's also going to give you those skills to make sure that your writing is the best it can be. Whether you're sitting there in a class and you're learning, Laura's doing her workshops, whether you're doing practices, or even if you're just sitting around and maybe you're doing a little bit some write-ins, or you're doing some give and take feedback. All those things are what a writing community can give you, those opportunities to learn and grow. So there's no guarantee that no matter what we do, we're going to have an audience for our writing. So I know a lot of people who, they want to be writers, but they don't want to put the time in, or they can't put the time in, or they don't know where to start. And they want to, or they start and they dabble a little bit and they quit. Because writing well, like I said, writing is easy, but writing well, writing memorable stories is hard. So really that community is going to help people realize their dream, to keep them from quitting, and to really keep people from saying, the world wants us to be realistic. It wants us to be practical. It says, keep your day job, don't daydream. But in the end, we need those daydreams because, like I said, these words that we write, they're nourishing our souls, they're nourishing our readers' souls. So I think that when you have a writing community, they're there to help you learn and to not give up your dream. I mean, how many people here know someone who, when they find out you're a writer, they say, oh, I always wanted to write a book too? How many of those people actually wrote a book? No, the people you know? Yeah, one. Okay,
only one. I'm trying to get the others tonight. Hurry up. Okay. Do it.
So, right, because again, there's what
my favorite is the ones who say you should write it for me.
Oh yeah, I get right on that with all the other things.
Contract myself.
So
I'm gonna split the money with you too.
I got an idea. You write it. We'll split the money. Yeah. So that's because it's not easy. We're sitting here. We're giving up an afternoon of our time to come together as writers. Not everybody's willing to make that sacrifice, but when you're with a community, they're able to validate those experiences and those wants and those needs. So a healthy writing community is there to support the writer. It's not, you hear horror stories about some writers groups where there's a lot of backstabbing and undermining of writers. I don't know who these people are. I've never met these people, but apparently they exist. I think that's the most wonderful thing about South Jersey is that every person I've ever met has been the most kind and caring and generous person. So I think in South Jersey, we have an amazing writers community. I really just feel as though when we're writing and we want to stop, when we feel that our writing is not going anywhere, where the scene is boring, the characters are stupid, oh, nobody's going to ever read this, when it's hard to keep writing when you're tired after a long day, your boss wants you to work, your parents want you to do this, your kids want you to do that, whoever, you've got to go food shop and you've got to do this and that, blah, 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 blah. All those things are trying to interfere with our writing lives. So, and there's always so many other things to do other than writing, but those community is going to bring us back. Community helps keep us focused. It helps you understand that your writing is important. It's affirming your dreams and validating them and saying, yes, you can be a writer. You can realize the creative life that's within you. That's what the best writing groups do. So I really feel that, we live in a very materialistic society and everything that we have has to be assigned a dollar value. But not everything can be assigned a dollar value or, a check mark for being practical or logical or safe. So I think that having that writing community kind of removes you from that world that says you have to do something that makes money. So we come together, especially in November, because I think November is such an amazing time. We have so many events going on. We have NaNoWriMo, and with NaNoWriMo, you come together with people maybe you don't know. I've met a lot of people that are not in the writers group through NaNoWriMo, even though they're local. So we can have like write-ins in person. We do a lot of virtual write-ins. And then also, what's also great is that I've met so many people around the world that are also writers. So we have this sort of local community, but we also have this larger community. And NaNoWriMo is, I think, one of those great experiences that everybody should at least try. Because you're able to connect with other writers around the world, and if you've ever been to their forums, they've got every kind of writer there, from romance to science fiction to fantasy to fan fiction and everything in between. I mean, it's just amazing, all the writers that are there. So we come together, and I want to say that we writers were dangerous. When fascists come to power, what's the first thing they do? They go after the writers and the teachers. And writers, not just fiction writers, but journalists, because words have power. Weapons can maim or kill, but words can change minds, can open minds. Words can change the world in ways that a weapon can never do. So what can we do as writers to build our community, both locally and globally? I say that we welcome other writers, people who maybe are beginners or maybe are afraid. I say we lend our skills and our knowledge. I say that we participate in events, as we all are today. I say we support other writers. We share their events. We attend their events. We buy their books. We write reviews, as much as you can do. So we come together. We want to grow. We want to learn. We want to share. We develop a fellowship together. And it's better than Frodo's fellowship because, you don't have this ring trying to make you into a wraith or somebody trying to kill you. This is a fellowship with writers that can support each other. So I'm going to leave you with this. As writers, each of us is responsible for building and maintaining community. It sounds like a lot because now, in addition to writing and rewriting and editing and marketing and publishing, I'm saying, hey, you know what? Go out there and be social and help build a community and give of yourself. It's a lot. I'm not saying it isn't. But it adds another dimension to our writing lives. Being part of a community is adding a dimension that is invaluable. It's invaluable because it's going to help you grow. And when you help others, you're also going to grow. So community is what keeps us afloat in the darkest times. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis had their Inklings. Dorothy Parker had her Vicious Circle. Virginia Woolf and Ian Forster had their Bloomsbury group. Even H.P. Lovecraft, who, you know, that guy didn't want to talk to anybody in person. He had a whole community of people he wrote with, hundreds and thousands of letters. So, you know, be a part of your community. You know, a community offers feedback, it offers support, it encourages friendship. I encourage you to find your community, to find your group, to go forth with your knowledge and your skills, to let go of your fears, and to make the investment in yourself and the community. Because together we're stronger, together we're better, and together is how we thrive. Thank you.